Hi, this is Lucien, DH7 alum, and welcome back to Ham Radio Soul. In this tutorial video, I'd like to show you a simple and very creative way of designing your own QSL cards using a free online software tool called Canva.com. This is perfectly suited for this task, and let's have a look how it's done. If you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing, and now good luck with designing your own QSL cards. See you next time. Okay, first thing of course is that you open your browser and navigate to canva.com. This is the address, right? So then you find this screen, and you need to sign up first if you don't have an account already. If you do have an account, just put your username or email and your password in there and sign on. What you'll find then is something similar to this screen. So basically what you have is you have here this bar where you can create a new design and see all your previous designs. And on the right hand you have this important button, Custom Dimensions, which opens a new design with your custom dimensions. We're gonna need this for the QSL card, right? You also have tons of templates here where you can choose from tons of formats, and you can also type in here what you want to design. Unfortunately, they don't have QSL cards yet, so you need to do it manually, which you do by clicking here on Custom Dimensions. And what then pops up is just, width and height, and you can choose either pixel or inch or millimeter or centimeter. And to find out what you need in terms of size, you need to go to the website of your printing provider or your printing service that will print your QSL cards, and they'll give you detailed instructions, including the size that you need to create here. In my case, this is 1070/24 times 1134 pixel, right? That's what my printing service told me. So I just copy that, put it here, and now I just have to click one more time here so that the button is clickable. So I click Create New Design. This opens a new tab here with my new design, and yeah, it also shows a help page which we can safely close. And the first thing you want to do is you add a title. Okay, so this will be your QSL card, obviously, and you can now start adding stuff. The cool thing about Canva is that there are so many templates and elements. You see here on the left-hand side, you have complete templates that you can experiment with. You have different elements like shapes and forms and stuff, and you also have text, of course, backgrounds, and this is really important, uploads, where you can upload your own images, right? So you see I already have some stuff going on there because I use Canva also for this YouTube channel. So anyway, I think it's a good idea to start with a background image for your QSL card, and of course you can upload your own image, but you can also look for stock photos or stock images if you like, and this is also integrated in Canva. And for that to work, you click on Elements, I think it is. Yeah, there we go. And here you can search millions of images, as they say. So let's try radio, for example. Tons of things come up here, and you also see whether these things are free or not, right? So if there's this free button, then you can choose them for free. Otherwise, they may cost like 90 cents or something like that. So just so that you know, let's just experiment a little. I've never seen this image before, but it kind of looks nice. So you just click on it and you make it so that it covers the whole canvas. So that's pretty nice already. And now we just add a little text. If you click here on the text field, right, and then you choose add a heading, they also have kind of pre-made text modules, right, that you can use and experiment with. It's actually pretty fun to play around with this. As I said, it's kind of a creative way of doing this kind of QSL designing thing. So I clicked on add a heading and you see here it is. So I put in my call sign, which obviously is far too small. So I go over there. You see you have all the options for the font here. And let's make it really big. Let's see. Okay, now I have to kind of play around with it a bit so that it looks nice. Let's make it even bigger. Okay, so that's my call sign. Maybe could choose a different color if we like. Let's see. No, maybe we just go with black just for the sake of demonstration. But as I said, don't hesitate to play around a little with it and see what you can come up with. Maybe let's make it bold. There are also tons of really great fonts installed with Canva, so you can really play around with it and see what you like. So now I have my call sign here. What I like now is another text form, because I'm a traditionalist and traditionally we always write German amateur radio station, right? Obviously you do whatever you like and put in the country you are from. So let's make it a little bit bigger, and maybe we should choose the same font. And as you can see, it's really nice. The software also automatically puts everything you use in a document right there so that you can easily access it, like fonts, for example. Once you use the font in the document, it will show up there, and the same goes for colors even. So let's make it a bit bigger. That's perhaps too much. Was better before. Okay, so nice. And that's already a nice QSL card. You can of course also grab like multiple elements, right? So if you click and you do the little rectangle thing, then you can select 2 or more elements. So you can play around with that also. Also, what you notice once you move the thing around, it kind of helps you with these kinds of lines, you know, like the pink line that shows up. So that's pretty nice. All right, so there you go. This already looks nice. Another trick that I like to show you is you have these elements here. If you click here on the left side, right, on elements, right there, and there you also have just regular shapes and forms. So if I close the radio thing, for example, I could just use a circle or even a rectangle, right? If I click here on shapes, you have all these kinds of things. So let's just put a rectangle here just for the sake of experimenting. And what I'll do now is that, because I don't see obviously anything from my text now, there's this little button over here, transparency, and if I click there, I can make the thing transparent so that I can look through it. I just need to do one other thing to make it look better, and that's to click on position, because I want it more in the background so that my call sign is up front, right? So these two little buttons are important here, transparency and position, where you can move the layer back and forth. So that's pretty cool. I don't think in this case that's really needed, right? Because yeah, you can easily read the font as it is, and I think it looks even nicer without this kind of thing, but still, it's useful to know. Okay. Another thing that's really cool about Canva that I want to show you is this little button, and it says copy page, and that's really useful to make variations. Just clicked it, you saw that, now it's copied, and now I can either experiment a little bit more, or I can start fresh and design a new one. So let's try something else and use our own photo, because personally I really like photos on QSL cards that are like from real life, from real ham radio stations or from real portable operations and all of that. So I think that's really great, and I click here on uploads, and what I can do is I can just put any file that I like in there. So for example, I just drag and drop this picture from a portable outing, and it just uploads it, and I just put it in there, right? So like this, boom, and now it automatically resized it and put it on the whole thing, right? So that's really nice, and you see that it even kept my text, so I don't need to edit. But maybe I should experiment a little with different fonts and all of that, because that's just another design altogether. So let's try something like this. Don't really like it too much. There are really tons of fonts here. Yeah, so can just experiment a little, but I think I liked it, the April Fat Face font, so let's go back to that. And yeah, it's already nice, because now you have, it's a bit more personal, right? It's not just a stock photo, and personally I like these kinds of things. And you could of course also use your station, your ham shack at home as a photo, or a photograph of you and how you did some portable action, or something like that. And of course I should add portable here. You can hear German amateur radio station, can leave it like that. And here I also have a Yota picture, which I grabbed from the internet. This wasn't a Yota operation, but I used it for another QSL card. So of course you can also add logos and stuff here, right? So that's really no problem. And again, if you want to make it a bit more readable, you can experiment with these kinds of shapes. So let's see, shapes are here. Let's use a circle, see how that one goes. Probably not that nice, but let's see. it's really very playful, so you can experiment a little with all of that and see how it goes. Yeah, don't really like it that much, but you get the idea. Sometimes it can be very useful to have something like this, either a rectangle or a circle or whatever shape suits you, so that you can make it more readable. And yeah, as I said, it's really great to take a snapshot from your portable actions or from your ham radio outings and just use a great photograph. Obviously, you can also combine different photos, right? So let me see what else I have here. I have here a picture from just me sitting in the shack. Let's upload this one and wait till it's finished and just put it there, resize it. You get the idea, right? So you can have different pictures here, different logos, all of that. And again, you see those little lines, right? Those little pink lines that can help you when you move things around. You see that? So that's really useful. And lastly, one thing to consider, and I did that wrong already when I printed some QSL cards, is that you really need to pay attention to the fact that the printing service will trim your card, right? So they always give you specifications that are slightly bigger than the actual card, so that once the printer cuts, or the machine cuts the card, that there are no weird things going on, you know, like no white lines or anything like that. So it's really made that so that it can cut something of the card out, and so that it still looks good. So what this means for you is that you really should pay attention not to put things too close to the edge, right? So just keep everything nicely in the middle and with some space between your elements and the edge, because otherwise things might get cut during the process. So I hope that I could give you some inspiration on how to experiment with these kinds of things and to have fun basically designing QSL cards. And I also think it's really nice to have QSL cards that vary, that so that you don't just order 2,000 of one QSL card, but that you print different ones for different activities and different styles of operating with different photos. Nowadays it's so simple to just take a snapshot with your smartphone or something like that, put it on a QSL card, put your call sign in there, and there you go. Personally, I'm always thrilled if I get those QSL cards with nice pictures on it and that show me a little bit about what was going on when we had the QSO. So I encourage you to experiment a little with that. So let's bring up the final result here. That was that. And then we had this one. It's also nice. As I said, I prefer real life photos. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not a designer, and you don't need to be one to design nice looking QSL cards that perhaps aren't perfect in terms of design and everything, but that have a great vibe and that will make your QSO partners happy. And I hope you could learn something from this, and I encourage you to use Canva to do this job, because it's really fast and easy and very much fun to use. So thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, consider subscribing as always, and best of luck with your QSL cards, 73s. Bye bye.